A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, welcome back to the online classes here. And as you know very well, we were doing the fourth chapter of the second book, that is political theory. And this fourth chapter is regarding social justice. So from the very first part, we are trying to understand the meaning and different dimensions of this value, that is justice, which I told you is not a new phenomena. If we talk about this political theory, this is an phenomena which has been prevalent from the very ancient times. We have taken various examples of it. And in the last video, we had discussed regarding just distribution, or according to the new syllabus, distributive justice. So we had discussed that, and we had tried to understand what is the requirement and what are the conditions to have the just distribution and why it is so important. So as today you can see this topic, that is pursuing social justice. But let me tell you, the name of this chapter is social justice, but according to the new revised syllabus, we are only covering those topics which are coming only the word justice. Okay, so the name has been changed for this particular session. So we are taking only justice. So in this fourth video, we are going to understand this particular topic on page number 62, that is pursuing social justice. Okay, so we'll try and understand that how we can pursue or how we can get this social justice. What can be the different methods to have social justice in a society, or how can we have a society which is just and equal, with equal opportunities for all the citizens irrespective of their caste, color, language. So basically, if you see in this book political theory, we are trying to understand some important values of political science which you have been understanding from the very junior classes, like you have done freedom, equality. Now you are trying and understanding justice. So these are the values which you know, that justice mean what, nyaya in Hindi, equality and freedom, you know the basic understanding. But in this chapter you have tried to understand what are the roots, or what is the background which led to these important values, and why they are so significant in our society, and why we are studying them. So we are also studying various theories of various scholars, various thinkers, that how these important values have emerged with time and how they are being changed, because they are not static, they have been dynamic as they keep changing with the change and in time period. As justice was also prevalent in the ancient time, if we talk about the Indian kingdoms, or we talk about China, or where if we talk about the book written by Plato in his book, that is Republic, in which he has shown the discussion in the dialogue form between Socrates and his friends. So these are the old concepts, so they are always dynamic, their meaning. So to understand the complete roots of these important values such as equality, freedom, justice, we need to study this book, that is political theory. That is why the word theory has been added to this book. Otherwise you already know the meaning of equality, justice, freedom, it is very simple for you. But as a student of political science, as a student of political theory, you should have a different understanding of these concepts, how they emerged with different time phases. Okay, so today we are going to do pursuing social justice. If in a society deep and persistent division exists between those which enjoy greater wealth and property, and the power which goes with such ownership, and those who are excluded and deprived, we would say that social justice is lacking there. So when we talk about social justice or social injustice, we would say, if you see in the society that if there are deep divisions, or there are a lot of differences between the two sections of the society, which is rich and one is poor. So if we talk about the rich section of the society, those we can say those who enjoy greater wealth, people having a lot of property and wealth. And the if they are having wealth and property, you know this theory, automatically they will have the power in the society, they can control the laws and policies. As if they have the wealth, they can easily control the politics of that particular society or region or state or country. So if such people, there is a lot of gap between these rich people, so they will also have the power and ownership of different resources in the society. And there will be lot of difference. If I say, there will be people and section which will be excluded, which is isolated, we can say. And they are deprived of basic facilities, they do not have equal opportunities. So we can say that there is shortage of social justice is lacking there. So if any society you find these two sections and so much of differences between rich and poor, where one group is controlling all the resources, all the political powers, all the wealth, so automatically they will try and suppress the rest of the society. And this deprived group will always be suppressed. And in this type of society we cannot have social justice, or a society based on just society. We cannot expect such type of social justice if this will be the criteria of any society. And this we can see in many societies in India also. We are not talking here mainly about the different standards of living which may be enjoyed by different individuals in a society. If we are talking about these division that one group is rich, here we are not pinpointing that why how individuals are having different standards of living. If we are living in a society, of course that society will be functional. Everyone cannot be the prime minister, everyone cannot be the uh, property dealer, everyone cannot be a businessman, and everyone cannot be a farmer. So there will be different differences in the functions. If we have to run a society, there will be differences in the, it will be a functional society. So that is why they are making it clear here. But giving this example of rich and poor, we are not trying to talk that merely about the different standards of living which may be enjoyed by different individuals in a society. Justice does not require absolute equality. If you are talking about social justice or justice, it does not mean that there will be absolute equality or sameness. Everyone cannot be equal. Everyone cannot be have the same amount of wealth, property, and power. It is not possible in a society, but in a way in which people live. But a society would be considered unjust. So we cannot say, if everyone is not having the same amount of power, wealth, and same opportunity, we can say same amount of wealth, we cannot say that there are inequalities or unjust society. But a society can be considered unjust if the difference between rich and poor are so great that they seem to be living in a different world altogether. But if in a society, if the difference between rich and poor is so large that you will think that there are two different worlds, and rich are living in a different world and poor are suffering in a other world, if such type of difference will be there in a same society, then we can say that that society is not a just society. But also on the other hand, we cannot say that if all are not having the same equality, same sameness, same amount of wealth, we cannot say that there is no justice in the society, because there will be different type of professions, different type of people, different functions. Okay, but there should be equality in the sense that everyone should get the opportunities to grow and show their talents and skills, or the potentials they have. If they have the potentials, they can change their life, they can grow, they can change the lifestyle of their family. So the thing is here, the just society is the one society where each individual is treated equally. Although there can be differences in the amount of wealth, property, professions, but if the individual is getting the equal chance to show his skills and talents and his potential to grow, it means we are living in a just society. This is all we are trying to understand by these examples here. I hope you are understanding that. And if the relative now we were here, and if the relatively deprived have no chance at all to improve their sorry, oh yes, we are. And if the relatively deprived have no chance, if the deprived, poor class, backward classes, they do not have any chance to show or to improve their conditions, however hard they may work. So if they are working hard, they are trying to improve their conditions, and they are not getting the opportunities or any outcome of their hard work, it means we are living in an unjust society. If someone is working hard, he is authorized and he has a potential, he should be given the chance to grow and change his lifestyle. Now moving forward here. Yes. In other words, a just society, so taking the conclusion of all this discussion, in other words, a just society should provide people with basic minimum conditions to enable them to live healthy and secure lives. So, any society based on equality and a just society would be a society where each individual is given basic minimum conditions to us. Basic environment is provided to each and every citizen so that they can enable to live, they can live healthy, secure lives and develop. Also they have the opportunity to develop their talents. If someone has talents, he should be given the opportunities to develop and grow, to show their potential, as well as equal opportunities. There should be equal opportunities. There should not be opportunities given on the basis of caste, color, language. Opportunities should be equal for each and every citizen. Everyone should be equal in front of eyes of law to pursue their chosen goals. So whatever the goals have been chosen by individuals in the society, to achieve those aims and objective, each individual should be provided with the equal opportunities. So if we find such a society, so we would say that society is a society based on equality, just society. Everyone is having this value of justice. It does not mean everyone will be rich, everyone will have lot of property, everyone will have the power, but it is all about getting basic amenities, basic opportunities to show and grow and develop and to show their potential. Okay. So moving forward to the next paragraph, in the upper paragraph, we have tried to understand how, what is a just society. We have seen the different conditions. So if we say here, how can we decide what are the basic? We said that everyone should get the basic minimum conditions to enable to live a healthy and secure life. So how can we decide, and who will decide what are the basic minimum conditions of life needed by people? So this is to think and debate, and people can have different opinion on this topic, that what are those basic minimum conditions of life. If I ask you, what would be your opinion, what would you say, that what can be those minimum important conditions or requirements by any living human being to where they can live a good healthy life? So if I am telling about the minimum, the word has been used minimum. You would not say that I want lot of wealth. These are the minimum conditions to live a healthy lifestyle, okay, which can be provided to each and every citizen. So various methods of calculating the basic needs of people have been devised by different governments. So many other governments around the world or within India, there has been many policies to derive out these minimum conditions, and by international organization. Here interference of internet organization is also there, like World Health Organization has also given the definition that what should be the minimum condition of life for any citizen in any country around the world. So it is given by World Health Organization also. But if we talk in general, it is agreed that the basic amount of nourishment needed to remain healthy. But in general, we are not talking about a different governments or international organization. If we talk basically, what do we understand by basic amenities, basic facilities which everyone wants, we would see here what are those basic important needs. Agree that basic amount of nourishment needed to remain healthy. What are the food quality, what are the proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates are required by each individual to remain healthy? What kind of food? Housing is important. Supply of clean drinking water is very important to stay healthy and fit. Then to show our potential and to grow and with our skills whatever we have, education plays a very important role. So when we talk about the minimum requirements or conditions for any individual, here education also is very important, because most of the classes in the previous classes you have been studying only about food, cloth, shelter only. But here education becomes an important element when we talk about the minimum conditions of our life needed by any person. And and minimum wages. Okay, everyone is working, is into some sort of a job, different professions. There should be some criteria where we can decide that what is going to be the minimum wage where a person can survive or can earn his livelihood, where he can support his family. So there should be some minimum wage standard where it should be maintained. would constitute an important part of these basic conditions. So I have explained one by one, but if we talk about the basic conditions or the minimum conditions, so they are telling about proper nourishment of health, that is proper food, housing, supply of clean drinking water, education, and minimum wage. So these are the important part of these basic conditions. Providing people with their basic needs is considered to be one of the responsibilities of a democratic government. So if we see providing, it is the responsibility of any government, especially the democratic government, to provide its citizens and the people with such minimum conditions. Okay. However, providing such basic conditions of life to all citizens may pose a heavy burden on the government. But if you see, if Indian government drives out various framework and policies to provide these minimum conditions of minimum wage or education, providing education to everyone, supply of clean drinking water, proper health, food, housing, it would be a lot of burden on the government. Although our government is doing a lot, but still our lot of population is under poverty line. There is so much of poverty. Okay, so people are suffering, there are deprived classes, backward classes. So it would be a lot of burden on the government, and which is there particularly in countries like India, which have a large number of poor people, because we do not have a very short amount of poor people where we can support these people with the government funding. So it requires a lot of financial support and funding to have these basic minimum conditions in place for each and everyone. Although there are various policies and plans and developments going on in our country, but still these are the ideas when we are talking about this value of justice as an important value when we talk about the equal and just society. Okay, moving to the next page now, 63, continuing with the same topic, pursuing social justice. We are trying to understand here. Even if we all agree that states should try and help the most disadvantaged members of the society to enjoy some degree of equality with others. So, okay, if we all agree that states and governments should plan out, frame some policies where all the disadvantaged, deprived, and backward classes of the society enjoy some degree of equality with others, so they can be treated equally, where they will be getting equal opportunities, they will be given equally the basic minimum conditions. If we agree to that, okay, what is going to happen, it's written here, disagreements would still arise regarding the best method of achieving this goal. Now there will be debates, different opinions, conflicts, maybe violence, that what should be the plan, what should be the procedure to provide these minimum basic conditions for and equal opportunities to each and every citizen. So there will be a debate and discussion, and even violence can also arose because of these debates and discussions, and differences between various groups in support of these policies or maybe in opposing these policies. So they are saying, suppose every state is ready that okay, we have to make a just society. For that we have to treat each one and everyone equally and provide minimum conditions of life to every citizen, especially to disadvantaged groups. But there will be lot of disagreements, because regarding the best method, what should be the method of achieving this goal. A debate is currently going on in our society. If you will see, still we see so many debates and discussions, and these are the agendas of elections also. You can see when they talk about reservations or deprived classes or backward classes or disadvantaged groups. So these are have also become the agendas and the topics are taken up in the elections. Okay, manifestos, there are so many things relating to these injustice in the society. So our debate is currently going on in the society as well as in our other parts of the world also, about whether promoting open competition through free markets would be the best way to helping the disadvantaged without harming the better off members in the society. So there has been debates and discussions in the world as well as in our country that we should start open competition or the free market for the helping disadvantaged people, and this will also not harm the people who are already better off in the good standard in the society. Or the other opinion is, or the government should take one on the responsibility of providing basic minimum conditions of living for the poor, or government can take initiative or responsibility for providing basic minimum conditions of life to poor people. Those two options have been given, and various debates and discussions have been going on in the world or within our country also, if necessary, even through our redistribution of resources. Already, when we were talking in the last video about a just distribution, where I told you why there is a requirement of redistribution of resources, where we had discussed about land reforms, water facilities, okay, providing temples and markets to each and every citizen. These were the redistribution of resources. In our country, these different approaches are being supported by different political groups. So as I told you, these have become the agendas of different political parties. So these are being supported and criticized by various political groups who debate the relative merits of different schemes for helping marginalized sections. These are the marginalized sections who are isolated or are seen as the different part of the society. They are left behind. So it is important to support these marginalized sections of the population, such as the rural or the urban poor. We will briefly examine this debate. Okay, so this was all about pursuing social justice. And here is a short message also by B.R. Ambedkar. You know this personality very well. A just society is that society in which ascending sense of relevance and descending sense of contempt is dissolved into the creation of a compassionate society. This is a statement given by B.R. Ambedkar in support of the society which is lacking behind, or the disadvantaged group, or basically the marginalized section of the population, the backward classes. They should be provided the equal opportunities to grow with the help of government intervention. Without government intervention and support, these deprived classes won't be able to grow as it should be for a just society. So this was all about pursuing social justice. Thank you.